Hi, everyone. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. This is Lucy, and I'm glad that you are watching this mastermind gym today and that you're part of this mastermind group. It's exciting. It's exciting to know that there's so many of us and so many of you looking to just become better, just go to that next level, both mentally and spiritually, because really it's a spiritual journey when we transform and learn how to transform our minds. And I was just sitting here thinking about how life is really not easy. Life is simple, but life is not easy. And life has ways of teaching us stuff that I heard Oprah say it once in a very peculiar way. She said, if you don't get the message with a subtle whisper, then life will give you a nudge. It'll kind of go like, hey, pay attention. You're off track. You're on the wrong path. You're being self-destructive, or you're causing your issues. And if you don't listen to the whisper or the nudge, then life will bring before you circumstances, issues, problems to get your attention. And if you don't listen to those lessons, then life will certainly drop a brick over your head, but you're going to learn one way or another. And I can attest to that. For many years, I don't proclaim to know it all, but here's what I do know. I've come a long way, and thank God I'm not the person I used to be. And I guess from now forward, my journey is to become the person that I still am not. I hope that's the same calling for you. I hope that you feel the same way. Like there's more. Despite the issues, despite the people, despite the challenges, the pitfalls, despite every feeling, every emotion, every circumstance, despite the ups and downs, despite the detours, despite so many things that come our way, we are on the path to becoming a better us, a better you, a better me. And that's really what it's all about. So today we're going to talk about perseverance. Because if there's one thing I've learned in this life, in this path, in this journey, in this adventure, really, because you can turn it into whatever you want. You can decide to be pitiful, or you can decide to be powerful. You can decide to have a pity party, be a martyr, be a victim, or you can decide to be a champion and be a victor, not a victim. It's really up to us. You and I have been given free will. Our Creator has given us all the power we need, all the intellect, all the resources, all the insight, everything we need. We are so powerful. But we fall into these things that just take us places that are painful, that are dark, that are difficult. But I really believe it's with a purpose. So today I want to talk to you about perseverance. What is perseverance? When you hear people talk about their successes in life, whether they are like Tyler Perry, who went from being abused, as a little boy. Tyler Perry was abused by a family member for many, many years, sexually abused, raped, molested. And he grew up living terrible experiences. And he tells in his story that sometimes he had to kind of like go into a trance. While he was going through the abuse, he would go into a trance and he would imagine himself in a different tomorrow. And he even tried to commit suicide because he got to a point in his life where he didn't believe that there could be a better tomorrow. But who's Tyler Perry today? He's a millionaire. He's an inspirer. He's a teacher. He's a role model. So, we all have things that we have to learn And perseverance is really the fuel injector. I call it the injector. Passion is your fuel, but without perseverance, you don't have that injector. You have to be passionate about something, even if it's just changing the course of your family's life. You know, when I look at my past generations, I see so many things repeated over and over that I'm really on a quest to breaking and destroying and pulverizing, if you can use that word, you know, just to kind of express the desire of pulverizing the patterns that I see in my family. And you know what? People are experts at pointing fingers, and people are experts at using our past against us. But you know what? Always remember, when you point the finger or they point the finger at you, there's three pointing back. Always remember that. That's why you shouldn't point the finger. And if anybody points the finger to you, always remember there's three pointing back. So perseverance is the injector that's going to take your passion and it's just going to drive it within you. It's steadfastness. It's staying on course. It's staying the course. It's knowing that you know that you know that you know that you know, and believing beyond circumstances, beyond issues, beyond feelings, beyond emotions, beyond people. It's just being able to say, I believe to the point that I know 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 that somehow I got to change my life, and somehow there is a better me awaiting my best life, my best life. You know, Joel Osteen wrote a book called Your Best Life, because I think we all have a best life. We just don't sometimes know how to even get there. So today we're talking about perseverance. What else is perseverance? It's stick-to-itiveness. Everything in life brings with it challenges. Everything in life, you know, sometimes we are the ones that make the wrong choice from the get-go. We make the wrong choice from the get-go. Then we work so hard to keep it together. So if we made the wrong choice from the get-go, and then if we made that wrong choice, it can't have the right ending. So we've got to switch, we've got to shift, we've got to change, and it all starts with our mind. We are a product of our mind. It's also doing something despite the difficulties. Oh my God, I could be here for days talking about difficulties. I can be here just having a pity party with you and everybody else that's watching the broadcast, and we can just go into a difficulty pity party, and we can talk about how woe is me and I am a victim, and you know, it was beyond my control. And no, you got to suck it up. Stop being the victim. We made a choice. We made a decision. Analyze if it was the right decision. If not, change it. And put perseverance. Put perseverance if you know that you know that you know, and you believe that there's a better tomorrow. So there's a couple of tests that come to test your perseverance. I've lived them. I'm sure you've lived them. Maybe you're not as aware of them, but it's just part of life, you know. Life, there's a circle of life. There's a process to life. There's just a way that things function. Like, for example, do you know that when you intend to do bad or evil or wrong to someone, immediately the law of reaction gets activated? Immediately. The moment you or someone you know decides to do you wrong, or you decide to do someone wrong, there's an immediate release of the law of equal and greater action to whatever action you just had. Some people call it karma. Christian believers call it the law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. So there's tests that come to into your life, because that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is, and no one's going to change it. And no one escapes. No one escapes. If you're going to persevere in business, in profession, in life, in your personal life, in your spiritual life, in your personal growth, in your marriage, in your relationships, in your friendships, in your physical life, in staying healthy, becoming a better you, thinking different, growing financially, becoming a self-sufficient person that, you know, you don't have to do things because you don't have a choice. You do it because you love it, right? And money is not an option. Then you're going to have to go through these tests. So test number one, you want to write this down, is the test of time, because there's something very peculiar that happens with perseverance. It not only comes to create, it comes to us. Perseverance comes to us, but we have to utilize it in the times of difficulty and in the times of delay. But always remember this, delay does not mean denied. Always remember, just because something takes longer than you expected, it has not been denied. So delay does not mean being denied. And so as humans, we want everything, especially nowadays. I mean, we live in the information age. Everything is at the tip of our fingers. So we want everything now. So there's a test of time. There's a test of things seem like they're not going to happen. I don't have the strength. I don't have the ability. It's taking me longer. I keep going around the same mountain. It just seems like it's never going to happen. I try, I give my best. I give it my all, and it still doesn't come together. And so time goes by, but you're really just going through the test of time. Do you have what it takes to earn that medal? Do you have what it takes to be that Olympic life liver? Olympic life liver, like you're going to win a medal for changing the way you are, the way you react, the way, you know, your habits, your feelings, your mindset. Are you going to win that gold Olympic medal for being a great life liver? Like you live your life with passion, purpose, and just determination. So the test of time. Number two, the test of vision. What you set out to do, was it just the wrong decision, or is it part of a greater vision than you? Is it part of a vision that is going to help those around you first and foremost? It's going to create you as a great leader. It's going to enrich your life and the life of others. Because everything we do is not just for us. Actually, God didn't even create us with the intent that we be selfish, self-centered, egotistical, narcissistic. No, God created us with the intent that as we grow, we lend a hand to others. We help others. We share with others. We give of ourselves. Our life here on this planet is to always be giving of ourselves. Some will reject it. Too bad. Next. Some will take it. But the bottom line is that the more you give, the more you get. Always. Always. That is a law. No one can change it. So the test of vision. Did I make the right decision? Was my plan the right plan? Why did I start doing this? What is the purpose? What is the ultimate goal? Where am I going with this? Is this enriching my life, and is it enriching the life of those around me? Or am I just existing? My goodness, there's so many people, so many of us that for so many years just exist. It's like we're breathing, our heart can't stop, our body doesn't stop functioning, so we just stay alive. Right? We're just alive by chance, just because no one has shut our system down, we're alive. That's called existing. So you got to go through the test of vision. Is the purpose you have, is the dream you have really the one that you should have, or did you just make a wrong decision? The last test that I want to talk to you about is the test of purpose. Are you really cut out for this? And if you are, why? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it once you learn to be a better you? Who are you going to share it with? What is going to be all the tests that you need to go through to have a great, huge, humongous testimony? So that's where perseverance kicks in, because you got to go through the test. And I wanted to share with you a saying that Dalai Lama, if you don't know who the Dalai Lama is, Google it. You know, he says, when you think everything is someone else's fault, I'll repeat it. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything springs from within you, your circumstances, the life you're living, the issues you're having, yes, some of them are beyond our control, but it's no one else's fault. There is a lesson behind it. So always ask yourself, What am I supposed to learn? What am I going to get out of this? What is life trying to show me? Maybe I need to learn something, and what is it that I need to learn? So when you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. There's a lot of people suffering because they're always pointing the finger. Turn it around. Look in the mirror. Talk to the woman. Talk to the man in the mirror. When you realize that everything springs from within you, you will learn both peace and joy. So in the middle of your test, here's how you know if you're on track with the right vision and the right purpose. You have peace and joy. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's agonizing. But do you have peace and joy? I think that peace and joy are the little internal GPSs that God has given us to know if we're on the right track, if we're with the right people, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Do you have peace and joy? Ask yourself in every area, in your finances, in your physical body, in your health, in your relationships, in your marriage, in your friendships, in your business, in your profession. Despite the difficult things I'm going through, where I need to exercise perseverance, do I feel peace and joy? There's so many people that don't have peace and joy. That's because they're lost in the wilderness. They're lost. So the last thought I want to connect with perseverance, because we all have to exercise it, is a setback. So a setback is an opposing force, and it's directly connected with perseverance. I mean, you're going to find yourself, boom, blindsided by something. And it's just going to flip you over. It's going to push you back so far that you're going to say, whoa, what just happened? It's an opposing force. It's a storm. I mean, if you've seen a hurricane, you know that those winds will just blow anybody back. So we go through hurricanes in our life, and those are setbacks. It's also a blockage. It's a blockage. It's a stronghold. It's like being tied down to a chain, and you can't break out of it. I mean, you try and you try and you try and you try. Stay perseverant, but remember to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Do you have peace about what you're doing? And do you have joy in the middle of the storm? That's how you know you're doing the right thing. Despite the difficulty, despite the agony, despite the delay, do you have peace and joy? It's a roadblock. It's something that you're like, oh my gosh, look at this gargantuous mountain. Look at this gargantuous mountain of a problem that I have. But do I have what it takes to overcome it? Do I have the inner strength? There's a saying that goes that when people think or blame others, they have not even started the lesson. They have not even started their life lesson. When people blame others, they have not started their life lesson. When people blame themselves, and take responsibility for whatever's happening, even if it's someone else causing it, remember, every action you have has a counter reaction. So we really cause issues because it takes two to tango, because like I said, there's a law. My actions have reactions in everybody around me. And when I change, my circumstances change. My atmosphere changes. Those things that are coming against me change. If you do the same thing over and over, you're never going to get a different result. So it also goes to say, besides saying that when you blame others, you haven't started your lesson, it says when you take responsibility and blame yourself, the lesson has begun. And when you just simply blame no one, but accept the lesson and learn from it and implement it, then you have completed the lesson. So perseverance is directly connected with the test of time, the test of vision, the test of purpose. It also brings immediately with it setbacks, opposing forces, blockages, roadblocks, stops your progress. But you know what? And this is what I want you to remember. If you're willing to change, you're willing to assume responsibility, you're willing to learn the lesson, stop blame shifting, recognize, is it the right path? Is it the right vision? Did I make the right decision? Or do I need to shift and am I willing to change and go through the pain of change, okay, then you're going to experience something that I call, and we all call, a comeback. You're going to have your comeback moment. And that's the best part. That if you go through the test and you learn the lesson and you apply perseverance to the right vision, to the right decision while you're on the right path, where you're enriching the life of others, where you are giving the best of yourself because you are earning the best of yourself, when you are on the path to becoming that Olympic life liver, a person with passion, you know, not a hater, not a self-centered, egotistical person. It's all about me, 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 and you're always pointing the finger. No, that, forget it. That you're gonna suffer. You are gonna go through misery. But when you sincerely, and you know what, thank God that he sees our hearts, because if it was up to the people around us, man, we wouldn't have a chance. I mean, sometimes even those closest to us are our worst opposers, you know, but when you do things for the right reason, you're going to have a comeback. You are going to have a comeback, and it's a great feeling. It's a great time. It's not easy, but it is simple. It's simple because it's harder to live a life of pain than to live a life of gain. I'll say it again. It's easier. It's better. It's more joyful, more peaceful, more happyful to live a life of gain than it is to just, you know, be so stubborn and not want to change and blame shift and refuse to let go. Let go and do a self-analysis and say, it's me. It all springs from within me. Just like the Dalai Lama said, it springs from within me. I made the decision. I repeated the pattern. I got on this path. I created the issues because everything springs from within me. So I hope that you start off with perseverance. You go through the test of time, the test of vision, the test of purpose. You prepare yourself for your setbacks because there's lessons within those setbacks. It's a time of retrospect, a time of meditation, a time of prayer, a time of surrender. Surrender. You know, sometimes I was so hard and so tough. Oh my God. When they, I always like to say, you know, when they gave out hardness, oof, I was first in line. I was a hard-hearted woman. Life made me that way. But I know better. And I'm not perfect, but thank God I'm not the person I used to be. And I thank God I'm not the person that I'm gonna be. And that's why as I learn, I share, because I see so many others walking my path. And my desire is to give it all away. Just give it all away. So my mastermind gym is intended for that. Just to share with you what I've learned. Humbly recognizing that I still have a lot to change, but it begins with me. Be perseverant. Go through the test. Check your vision. Know your purpose. Check the purpose of what you're doing, regardless of, you know, the area of your life that you're doing it. Have stick-to-itiveness while you go through the test of time. Prepare for that setback. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's hard. But it'll be a time of prayer, of meditation, of introspect, of retrospect, of analyzing, of studying yourself, of looking back to make better future decisions. And you know what? Best of all, prepare for your comeback moment. That's the best part. When you do the right thing for the right reason, there is always a great, great, great reward. So I'll leave you with Dalai Lama's thought once again. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything you have and everything you are living right now has sprung, has flowed out from within you, then you will learn both peace and joy. Why? Because you're going to know, I need to change. I created this. I created this. I need to change. Get ready for your comeback moment. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome life. Live on purpose and stay strong. See you next time.